And joining us now with what's next for the floor and the markets, Stacey Cunningham, president of the New York Stock Exchange. Stacey, I think last time we were in each other's company was in Davos, I think. And
it was just all about to get started.
You're right. And can you believe that how positive the tone was over there? I guess we should have known, not something like this, but I guess we should have had an idea that people were just too bullish. So tell us about where the big board is right now, about reopening the floor, maybe going totally electronic at some point. Where are we right now in that process?
Thanks, Joe, and thanks for having me on. And just to touch on Davos for one quick second, they often say Davos can be a contraindicator. And last year at Davos, there was a lot of talk about recession and where we might be heading in 2019. And it turned out 2019 was a really strong year. This year, the sentiment was really positive, as you say, and certainly it was just in advance of what we've been dealing with over the past few weeks. So as you mentioned, we went to electronic trading a couple of weeks ago. And as we've all been living through this over the past few weeks, each day we learn so much more. Each day is almost like a week, and each week almost like a month. And as we were starting to put in screening protections and we had that in place, we went through a number of steps over the past 6 weeks of scaling back the number of people in the building, implementing segregation and separation and social distancing. First, we sent home roughly 700 people from the building so that there were fewer people coming in and out, and we started screening people walking onto the floor. As we got the first couple of positive cases back, we were also observing what was happening in New York City more broadly, and the virus was spreading so quickly, it became clear that we didn't want to contribute to the strain on the healthcare system. And we wanted to focus on keeping our community safe, their communities at home safe, and not contributing at all. And it was clear that it was moving very quickly. It was going to be hard to do that. And so we made the decision to temporarily close the trading floor to help limit that impact. But trading has been ongoing smoothly. With all due respect to Ken, we know how to operate electronic exchanges. We operate 5 equity exchanges. 4 of them are electronic 100% of the time. What the difference in the New York Stock Exchange is that added element of human trading leads to less volatility. And one of the reasons why we were so dedicated to keeping the floor open as long as possible is because we were already in such an extreme volatile period. We wanted to have that benefit of dampening volatility. And so as soon as we can go back to a full service offering, we will.
Great. I will say this, Stacey, and you probably were watching closely as well. The circuit breakers are just the functioning of the markets, even in the face of a lot of people. In hindsight, I think it was a bad idea about taking a week pause or closing the stock market. But we were able to watch where the eventual opening would be with some of the ETFs. It seemed to calm things. It was stable. It was orderly. I don't know whether we're through this maelstrom or however you want to characterize it. But at this point, looking back on it, you'd have to say that, I don't know, I think you must be proud of the way the system operated at the big board.
I am extraordinarily proud of our teams. And while it's hard to watch the market moves that we've seen, and we've seen over a dozen 1,000-point swings in the market, which is truly unprecedented, but I'm extraordinarily proud of not just the team at the New York Stock Exchange, but the industry more broadly. You did not see any delays on trades, and it's really important that our systems operate consistently, because market making is an important part of this system, and it's important for investors to be able to buy and sell their stocks. And they're not guaranteed prices are going to be what they like, but they want to make sure that the markets are operating the way they're supposed to. And they did. We processed 320 billion messages on a peak day, which is 3 times normal levels. And I'm not sure the everyday person understands how much goes into creating technology systems that can do that with the same level of performance all the time. And I'm extraordinarily proud of the team. You never know when you're going to hit a market event like this. So we need to be ready for it. So there wasn't a rush to test and upgrade systems over the past couple of months, because we have to be ready for that. We've done that in the past, and the systems worked exactly the way they were supposed to. And the market-wide circuit breakers worked exactly the way they're supposed to.
Will we see any IPOs? Will that be part of the normal that we're looking at down the road? We heard about Airbnb, which I actually now I can see how maybe it would be. I was saying, God, I didn't want to do it before. I don't want to do it now, but I can see it might be better than a hotel. But give us the status of IPOs, both scheduled and anticipated.
Yeah, there's still a large number of companies on file. In fact, we had a closed-end fund IPO last week. So we ran an IPO already in this state. In the beginning of March, in the first week of March, which seems like a very long time ago, we had a company IPO and raised $2 billion. So you're still seeing the isolated companies coming to market. Certainly, it's going to slow down until there's a little bit more certainty in market conditions. And I think it will depend a bit on the business of the company and whether or not they want to raise money in these conditions or not. Certainly, biotech companies are still looking to come out to market. Some of the challenges that you're hearing are about roadshows and leveraging a virtual roadshow because it's much harder to go out and meet investors. But we've seen companies doing it. We will see, I think, fewer through this period of time. But I expect we'll see them come back to market pretty soon.